So I've been listening to the community and they've been saying something crazy like Titans has the weakest prismatic build in the final shape. Titans are probably one of the most overpowered guardians in the final shape. And not only am I going to show you this, I'm going to show you how you could basically get 80% damage resistance almost all the time based on whatever content you're doing. No matter if it's a Nightfall, Grandmaster, Raid, you are going around and it is man mode 24/7. And Titans are the tanks for it. Now let's get into the build. Now within your prismatic build, what you'll want for your melee is the shield throw, because it grants overshield every time you hit an enemy, and it'll be an increased overshield depending on how many targets you hit. And honestly, every time you throw it, whether it's a boss or rank and file enemies, you will always get an overshield and it will last 9 seconds, and it's a 50% damage reduction. The main focus of this class will be having the shackle grenades, and that'll be the suspend targets. Now you'll see why this is so important later on. However, just work with me, just listen, just let me cook a little bit. Next, for your aspects, you'll have Dringer's Lash. Now, this aspect, every time you activate your barricade ability, it will create a ripple in the ground that will suspend targets. Now, note for this, it will only suspend targets and it will only go as far as what you have on the ground. So if targets are in the air or on a different platform, it'll be a little bit shaky for specific pieces of content. However, to synergize with this, what you'll want to do is have the short rally barricade, because you'll get this every 30 seconds. So you'll have a big uptime on your barricade each time that you play the game. Next, for fun, I'll have Diamond Lance, as every time you kill an enemy with the ability, this will spawn a Diamond Lance, and as you play, you'll see tangles and Diamond Lances everywhere, and you'll just see a whole bunch of enemies either frozen or just hit with tangles or suspend effects. It's just a lot of enemies exploding and it's fun. Now the biggest reason why you'll want this is because you'll have the Abeyant Leap. For the final shape, this exotic legs for prismatic builds is probably one of the most overpowered things that you could get, because just read what it does. Improves Dringer's Lash, projectiles track targets more aggressively and travels farther, and you will gain woven mail every time you suspend targets. So every time you use your rally barricade, you will get woven mail. Every time you use your shackle grenades, you get woven mail. Along with that 50% damage reduction every time you do a shield overthrow, you will get another 40% damage reduction for woven mail every 8 seconds. Now with the shield overthrow, you'll lose your bonuses after you get damaged a lot. Woven mail will be a straight 40% damage reduction for 10 seconds every time you use it. So every time you use your suspend grenades, you get woven mail. Every time you use your rally barricade, you get woven mail. And that's just playing the game normally. It's crazy. Let me cook. Now to continue on, for your fragments, what you'll want to start with is Facet of Balance. What that will do is rapidly defeating targets with light damage grants melee energy. So that's with light guns being solar, arc, or void guns. That's being your ability, anything like that. As well as rapidly defeating targets with darkness damage grants grenade energy. And along with that, just playing the game, just shooting your guns, you're getting your abilities back. So it's almost like you have demolitionist or pugilist or whatever as you're playing the game. Now going on to the next one, Facet of Dawn. Powered melee hits against targets makes you radiant, and powered final blows make you and nearby allies radiant. So think about it, with shield throw, you can throw it just about anywhere. So every time you throw your shield, you will not only get an overshield, but you'll be getting radiant. And it's just buffs just sitting on the bottom of your screen no matter what. Going into the next one, picking up orbs of power grants either amplified, restoration, frost armor, woven mail, or overshield based on the damage type of your equipped super. And this is where things get spicy, because picking up an orb while having glacial quake will give me an additional damage reduction, and that's being frost armor. So you will consistently get uptime with frost armor along with woven mail, along with overshields. Are you guys following me? At this point, you're at about an 80% damage reduction just going around playing the game normally, because you'll be picking up orbs of power for your super, you'll be picking up orbs of power for your grenade, and you'll be picking up orbs of power for your powered melee, and it just synergizes oh so well. And to make you even more powerful, you could do facet of protection, and just by playing while surrounded by combatants, you'll be more resistant to incoming damage, and it's even more potent when Transcendent is activated. So you're just walking around, you have damage resistance no matter what. You're just playing the game. Nothing could actually kill you. You are a literal tank. You are the Incredible Hulk. And then going on to Facet of Solitude. This is the kicker. Landing rapid precision hits emits severing blast from the target. While Transcendent, the severing blast is even more potent. And severing blast, what that does is the target's damage towards you will be reduced. So not only will you have damage reduction just from being a big tank, just going around killing everything, suspending everything, you will also get additional damage reduction by just shooting something with precision hits. And those more tanky enemies will be the ones that procs, and that's who you want to proc it on. And then just ended it off with the chef's kiss. While you have an elemental buff, your class ability regenerates more quickly. So while you have woven mail, no matter what you do, your class energy regenerates. Whenever you pick up an orb of power, you get more frost armor, so your class energy can regenerate more quickly. Just think about it. Overshield more quickly. Now that is where going into the different supers could get a little bit choppy, because yes, you can go for Blade Fury, but that doesn't stack because you'll have woven mail already. Yes, you could go for Twilight Arsenal, which is a great super. However, think about this. Whenever you get shot, you lose your overshield. So you don't have that uptime of just having damage resistance. Hammer of Soul is not really good without the Pyrogale gauntlets. However, you could just utilize them and see how well that goes. So Glacial Quake, just whenever you use Glacial Quake, no matter where you are, it is a beast of a super. And Bungie has been doing everything that they can with stasis just to buff stasis in general. So you're just going around freezing and shattering targets, which just gives an additional effect to your abilities, and you get even more diamond lances. The synergy is crazy. And then we get on to the armor mods, and this is what makes everything a class. Starting with your class item. So I'll just have some armor stats, which is Bomber, which will give you reduced grenade cooldown, as well as Reaper. So every time you use your class ability, the next final blow spawns an orb of power. And basically every time you use that ability, you're suspending something, and more times than not, you're killing it, so you will get an orb of power. Going into the legs, I'll reduce all ability cooldowns each time you pick up an orb of power, as well as you can either put on a surge mod depending on whatever you're doing, whether it's raid or something that has that surge that you're looking for, or you could utilize reduce the class ability cooldown every time you pick up an orb of power, as well as you get health every time you pick up an orb of power. So not only will you be getting frost armor, but you'll be getting more health, and you'll already have woven mail going on. So like, it's just hard to kill you no matter what you're playing. And then going into the plate, what I would do is I will have on whatever resistance you are looking for depending on what content that you're using, as well as emergency reinforcement. What I will use is grenade final blows will create orbs of power. You will be getting more kills with suspended effects than you will with your powered melee, so that's why I utilize that. As well as impact induction, which is causing damage with a powered melee attack, reduces your grenade cooldown. So along with getting radiant, along with getting overshields, you will be getting a reduced cooldown to your grenade to utilize even more, because your class ability comes back quick as hell. I'm just being honest. Just to finish it off, I'll just increase the grenade throw distance. Lastly, for your helmet, I will have special ammo scout, and then you'll have the strand and solar siphon mods. So what this will do is whatever weapons you're using or your main weapon, rapid final blows create orbs of power. So even if you don't want to utilize this, you could then go into whatever that you want as far as heavy ammo finder or just heavy ammo scout, which will help your friends, and you could continuously create orbs of power, which will just continuously give you damage resistance, which will make you a beast. Not only are you doing that, but remember, you're suspending everybody at the same time. And imagine a group or a team full of suspending titans just going around killing everybody. Nothing could actually touch you. You could trivialize the entire game. What makes it even better is the artifact mods this episode. One being Threaded Blast, destroying a tangle, which you will be continuously doing because they are always going to spawn, with a strand weapon creates a larger, more damaging explosion. As well as utilizing counter energy, which is whenever a member of your fire team stuns a champion, think about GM Nightfalls, you gain energy for your least charged ability. So because you are not utilizing anything with arc with this, like it doesn't matter. Also remember, whenever you go transcendent, you will have suspending grenades. So couple that with the woven mail that you will always get, and it will recharge your abilities to continuously get woven mail again and again. It's just too insane for the Titan to not be a great class. And then you finish it off with Shield Crush. Whenever you have woven mail, frost armor, or avoid overshield, your melee will recharge faster and deal increased damage, which you will always be getting. As well as while you are amplified or radiant, which you will always be radiant because you will be throwing your shield, your grenade charges faster and deals increased damage. Now, if this isn't a class that will just make you the next Incredible Hulk, big Tonka tank, I don't know what is. Please subscribe because I have another one coming for the Hunter and the Warlock. And if you're still stuck on Salvation's Edge, I also have a guide for that. Check it out. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.